you may be able to hear what sounds like sonic booms far off in the distance. And actually what you're hearing is the sound of the ice expanding. The temperature, it's a very clear night out here. The moon is overhead and just sparkling brightly. And when it's this clear, the temperature drops quite rapidly. The ice begins to freeze quite quickly. And as we all know, water expands when it freezes. And so that expansion makes for pops and cracks in the ice. And so if you hear those in the background, that's what you're hearing. The other thing I wanted to mention is the ice itself. How does one know if the ice is safe enough to go on? And actually there are a couple things you can do to find out. First of all, you could call the DNR and they may be able to tell you lake by lake by lake how much ice there is and whether it's safe or not. The other thing to do would be to check again with those local bait shops. Those people are talking to fishermen all the time. The fishermen stop in there every day and they say, I was on such and such a lake and it was fine, or I tried to get on such and such a lake and it wasn't safe. So when you're picking up your spikes and your mousies and getting a small ice fishing rod, ask where the safe ice is and where the best places to go are. And then once you get out on the lake, I don't know if you can see behind me tonight, but there are quite a few other fishermen out. You can see the lights in the background maybe. Smelt are a school fish. And so to be successful, you're probably going to end up having to go where the other folks are. You might be looking at this and saying, you know, that light would be more effective if the two holes were closer together. And you're right, it would be. The disadvantage of that would be that when the two holes get too close together, you tend to get the lines tangled together. Both of these lures that we're using are jigging lures. And so you do have to jig them every now and then to keep them moving and keep that bait wiggling around. And that jigging action tends to attract the fish closer to where you are. And so once you get fishing, every 20, 30, 40 seconds, every minute or so, just jig it up and down every now, once or twice. Set it back down so it's easier to read, and then wait for that little orange tip to bob up and down. The lure on this fishing rod is about a foot or so off the bottom, whereas this one is probably 6 feet off the bottom. And what I've done is I've brought this one up a crank or so, and I've brought this one up 3 or 4 cranks. And when you don't have a fish finder, and so you're basically searching for fish and trying to figure out what depth the fish are feeding, that's what you do. You leapfrog one over the other. So this one's at the bottom, this one's about 6 feet, and then I'll move this one up to where it's about 8 or 9 feet, and then this one up to 10 or 12 feet, and I'll keep moving them up until hopefully I'll find the depth where the fish are feeding. Ooh, having a bite. I don't think I got him, but we'll see. Ha ha ha. There, my friends, is what we're after. If I don't drop it down the hole, I'm just going to drop it into our bucket of water and add another spike, because we lost one, and go back to fishing.